Controversial topic, immigration. We have President Biden importing 10 million people into this country. A lot of these people are unvetted. They don't share our values. They don't want to assimilate many of them. And so I'm going to start this with Stephen Miller, who's been the tip of the spear on immigration. What should we be doing in a Trump 47 administration to fix this disaster, this invasion of our southern border?
Well, as I say sometimes, the immigration issue is extremely simple. The policies involved in fixing it are very complicated. The simple part is seal the border, deport all the illegals. Now, that's the short answer, right? You get in, you have two policy objectives that you proceed with utter determination on. Seal the border, no illegals in, everyone here goes out. That's very straightforward. In terms of the policy sets to accomplish this, as President Trump showed in his first term, it's a series of interlocking domestic and foreign policies to accomplish this goal. In no particular order, just to rattle off a few fast, you have your Safe Third agreements, you have Remain in Mexico, finish the wall, you have robust prosecutions of illegal aliens, you do interior repatriation flights to Mexico and not back to the north of Mexico. It's very important. You re-implement Title 42. You have several muscular 212Fs. That's the travel ban authority. We did a few of those in the Trump administration. You would bring those back and add new ones on top of that. You would establish large-scale staging grounds for removal flights. So you grab illegal immigrants, and then you move them to the staging grounds, and that's where the planes are waiting for federal law enforcement to then move those illegals home. You deputize the National Guard to carry out immigration enforcement. And then you also deploy the military to the southern border, not just with a mission to observe, but with an impedance and denial mission. In other words, you reassert the fundamental constitutional principle that you don't have a right to enter into our sovereign territory, to even request the asylum claim. The military has the right to establish a fortress position on the border and to say no one can cross here at all.
Yes. I think the significance, Stephen, of what you just said is, in all the things you just laid out, we've got to have a president to do it. But it also is, you can't proceed in a way in which you're tentative and unsure. When Stephen said the idea that you deport everybody and everybody applauded, that's just because it's obvious what has to occur. And so you've got to actually be willing to take the step to do it. I look around this panel of wallflowers. I don't think you'll have any problem if you have people like this in leadership. In fact, I've never been on a panel where I was like the lightest, the easiest going guy. But I think that's something that's become clear in our politics. That's what we've got to do. Our nation's survival depends on that sort of aggressiveness in asserting ourselves. Finish this out, General Paxton. Yeah. What are we doing in Texas? What do we need to do? If you're the future Attorney General, what do we need to do to fix this problem?
Texas has no interest in this issue. No, it's so obvious. We saw what worked under Trump. It was called enforcing the very things that he talked about. And as soon, literally day one, Joe Biden comes out and said, I'm not deporting anybody. And off to the races. We sued him. Within 3 days, we had an injunction. And he dismantled Remain in Mexico. He dismantled Title 42. He wasted all the resources appropriated to build the wall and let it all rot, paid contractors not to work, and all of that went to waste. The catch and release started up again. So all the policies that worked that brought all the numbers down, when you reverse those policies, all the numbers went up. I don't know why the media can't figure this out, but it's really obvious. And Joe Biden is clearly in partnership, without saying it, without having a written contract with the cartels. The cartels, this is true.
That's true.
He has told them openly, bring as many people here as possible as fast as you can. You don't have to hide from us anymore. You remember they used to hide? They used to try to sneak across? That is not what happens anymore. Unless they're like terrorists or really bad criminals, because they even let criminals in. We've sued them over that. So this is an administration that this is exactly what they want. They know they're helping the cartels bring drugs in, human trafficking. It is all designed by our own government. And so we are in a war with the cartels, with the Chinese importing fentanyl, and our own president against the United States and our country and my state. So we have to have a new president because this is clearly not working.
Amen.
13
Amen.
seconds left.
And that's the ends. Thank you so
Thank you, Speaker Johnson. Thank you, Chip. Good friend Mike Lee, known for such a long time, and all the patriots here today. Democracy in America is under attack. It's a multifaceted attack being waged by Joe Biden and Democrats in Congress. We see that attack in the form of censorship of conservative speech, the weaponization of law enforcement against peaceful American citizens for having conservative or Christian beliefs, and we see it in the lawfare against President Trump in New York City, in Georgia, in D.C., and in many other places all across this country where the power of the state is being used to crush political dissent. But there's one more form of radical attack on democracy, and that is the combination of a wide-open border and obstruction of any effort to verify the citizenship of who votes in our elections. These things are all combined in effort to end our Republican form of government. When you have no border, when you have millions of unvetted foreigners from over 150 countries pouring into this nation with no way, no legal ability, let alone a legal requirement to verify that they are citizens, you are inviting grand foreign interference in our elections on an unprecedented scale for the sole purpose of helping Joe Biden and the Democrat Party. When this bill comes to a vote, it will be the most important vote that most members of Congress take in their entire careers. If Hakeem Jeffries and his Democrat members try to kill this bill, they will be declaring to the whole country that they want Joe Biden's illegals to vote in this election. That will be what they are declaring. And every American citizen should pay attention and take note, because this will be a dividing line from which there will be no return, no going back, no hiding, no erasing your record. Either you believe in an American nation for American citizens or you don't. That is what this vote will show. And I encourage every single reporter here today to treat this with the gravity and gravitas it deserves and it necessitates. Because if this bill does not become law, then Joe Biden and Democrats will have engineered one of the greatest interferences in any democratic nation in the history of the world. Thank you.
Okay, I just have to ask you, you saw the two performances. What's your take?
There's never been a more profound contrast in the history of presidential debates. I mean, this puts to shame anything you've seen in presidential debating history. You know, go back to, for example, Reagan-Mondale or Reagan-Carter. This was the most commanding debate performance from President Trump we have ever seen. The contrast between the vision President Trump laid out and the lack of vision from President Biden, the strength President Trump projected versus the lack of strength President Biden projected, the energy, dynamism, and vigor you saw from President Trump, again, compared to the absolute absence of all three from President Biden. But I really want to focus less on Biden and more on the fact that President Trump was so powerful and focused on his plan for foreign policy, inflation, economic security, national security, and border security. That's the real story of the night.
But performance, everyone's talking about Joe Biden. Politico say it says he bombed.
Well, he was intimidated by President Trump. From the moment that President Trump came out, he set the tone. He went on offense early. He set the issues. He set the direction. He talked very early in the debate about inflation, immigration, national security, public safety. President Biden was then forced onto defense all night, and that's why he collapsed. It's because President Trump was so resolute and so focused.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Miller. What a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, Johnstown. This city is in my blood. It is in my bones. It is in my veins. Generations of my family are buried in the soil here in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Every summer growing up, there's nothing I look forward to more than coming up here to Johnstown with my grandma and my grandpa. For those of you who are older, they owned and operated a place called Gloucester Brothers. a family store that was in my family all the way back to the turn of the century, in the 1900s. This town is everything to me. And I witnessed and I saw how the globalists and the corrupt ruling class gutted this town. They stole our dreams. They stole our futures. They stole from us the wealth and the industry that belonged to you, that belonged to your families, that was the birthright of your children. They ripped it up and they stole it. And where did they send it? They sent it to China. They sent it to Asia. They sent it to Mexico. They sent it to foreign countries. And one man has defied that corrupt, elite ruling class to bring our future back to Johnstown and back to Pennsylvania. And what is the name of that man? What is his name? Donald J. Trump. One man who will fight for Pennsylvania. And so my message to all of you, to every one of you here today, to your children, to your friends, your family, your co-workers, your neighbors, is that you will get the last word. You will get the last word, because the globalists are trying everything they can. The communists behind Kamala Harris are trying everything they can to stop Donald Trump from saving Pennsylvania. But Johnstown can be the ones that push Donald Trump across the finish line and reclaim America for Johnstown, reclaim America for American citizens, and reclaim the future of this state. So Johnstown, get out there, give us the win. Johnstown, give us the victory. Johnstown, fight for America. God bless you, and God bless the state of Pennsylvania. Thank you. Pennsylvania! Hello, Reading! In 27 days, you can end the fraud, the corruption, the betrayal, the destruction of our country by ending the Biden-Harris administration and electing a true patriot, Donald J. Trump. Just think about what this man has endured to fight for each and every one of you. The lawfare, the persecution, the hoaxes, the attacks on himself, the attacks on his family. But did Donald Trump back down? Did Donald Trump waver? No. Did Donald Trump, God forbid, did he surrender? No, he fought. He fought with everything he had. He stared down one assassin. He stared down two assassins. He stared down hostile foreign governments. Donald Trump. He stared down everything, the corrupt Democrat machine, everything, his corrupt enemies, everything the forces trying to destroy this country could throw at him. And he kept on fighting for you, for your wives, your husbands, your children, the people you love. And why? Because he believes that you're entitled to a secure border, a sovereign country, a country without crime, a country without chaos, a country without corruption, a country where FEMA prioritizes American citizens, not illegal aliens. A country that puts our children first, a country that puts our loved ones first, not foreign migrants and refugees and illegal aliens and trespassers and criminals, and a country that does not let illegal aliens hurt and murder and kill our people. And when he is elected, guess what? The criminal migrants are going home. He will send them back. So all I'm asking you to do, Pennsylvania, all I'm asking you to do is to stand with the man who has stood with you. Deliver Donald Trump back to the White House. Vote early, get your friends, get your colleagues, get everyone you know. Send in those ballots, because if Pennsylvania goes for Trump, Trump will be the 47th President of the United States of America. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Thank you.
in just 25 days, Colorado can shock the world and send Donald J. Trump back to the White House. This state is going Republican. This state is going for Donald Trump. And the patriots in this room are going to be the ones who elect President Trump to end the invasion, to end the occupation, and to send the illegals back home. Look at all these photos around me. Are these the kids you grew up with? Are these the neighbors you were raised with? Are these the neighbors that you want in your city? No. These are the criminal migrants that Kamala Harris brought into your community. And as swiftly as they came, Donald Trump will send them back. The media wants you to feel ashamed. They want you to believe you can't complain about what's happening to your town. They want you to shut up. They want you to be quiet. They want you to be silent. We are not gonna shut up. Because we love our country too much. We love our family too much. We love our kids too much to let them grow up in a community and in a country that is run by organized criminal cartels. Not on our watch. Not going to happen. They want you to think that you have to justify why you want to send the migrants out. No, 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 no. They have to justify why the hell they're bringing the migrants in. And they cannot justify it for this very simple reason. We don't need, in this country, homeless migrants, criminal migrants. We don't need migrants consuming and depleting our public resources, overwhelming our public schools, overwhelming our hospitals, taking over our apartment buildings, and yes, murdering innocent Americans. You have a right to love the community you grew up in. You have a right to love your neighbors as they are. You have a right to want a country that is of, by, and for Americans and only Americans. So I will end today with this simple plea and this simple promise. If you do the work, Colorado, if you register, if you organize, if you mobilize, if you get your friends, family, co-workers, colleagues, everyone you know, people near, people far, if you do the work for the next 25 days, Colorado will send Donald J. Trump back to the White House, the criminal migrants will go home, and America will be reclaimed for Americans. God bless you. God bless Aurora. God bless Colorado. And God bless the United States. Thank you.
We ain't faking.
Hello, Reno. Hello, Nevada. Hello, Patriots. In just 25 days, the great people of this state are going to send Donald J. Trump back to the White House. Inflation will end. Our jobs will come back. Our economy will soar. Your wages will go up. Your communities will be safe. The wars will end. Peace will return. We'll get the woke out of the military. We will get the radical left indoctrination out of our schools. And we will seal the border shut. On November 5th, you will send Donald Trump back to the Oval Office to liberate the United States of America. The occupation of our cities by migrant gangs will be over, and Americans will be in charge of their own country once again. No mother or father will have to fear for the safety of their children. No husband will have to fear for the safety of their wife. And no
woman in this country will have to be terrorized by migrant gangs and murderers and rapists and killers. Because this country belongs to the citizens of the United States of America. Now, Donald Trump, for 8 years, has endured so much for all of us. Since the day he came down that escalator, it was one attack, one hoax, one slander, one defamation, one false accusation, one witch hunt, one persecution, one episode of lawfare after another, and then not one but 2 assassination attempts on his life. But Donald Trump is still standing, and he is standing stronger and more determined than ever. And yes, Donald Trump is running against Kamala Harris. He's running against a weak, radical, incompetent, failed socialist liberal. But Donald Trump is also running against the corrupt system that owns and controls Kamala Harris. This is the corrupt machine that doesn't give a damn about you and never has. This is the corrupt machine that for generations has sucked the wealth and jobs and vitality out of this country. This is the corrupt machine that suppresses your free speech, that crushes your liberty, that tries to violate your rights, that tries to indoctrinate your children, that believes that unelected bureaucrats in the deep state, at DOJ and the Defense Department, know better than the actual citizens of this country. The big donors, the big banks, the big special interests, all of the forces conspiring and colluding to take away your voice, to take away your future, to take away your hopes and your dreams as Americans. Donald Trump is fighting every single one of those forces so that you can have your future back. So ladies and gentlemen, I need you to reach deep. I need you to reach deep into your hearts and your souls and organize for the next 25 days. Mobilize. Get out that vote. Scratch and claw. Go through every contact you have. Do the work. Dedicate yourself and pledge yourself to this simple mission. Deliver the state of Nevada to Donald Trump and deliver Donald Trump back to the White House. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America. Hello, Detroit. Hello, Michigan. After 4 years of betrayal, after 4 years of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden savaging the working and middle class of this country, after 4 years of open borders and mass illegal immigration, after 4 years of inflation, crime, unemployment, misery, war, death, destruction, and devastation, are you ready to reclaim your country, reclaim your future, and reclaim the United States of America? I ask you to think about the journey that we have been on over these last 8 years. Since the day that Donald Trump stepped forward and put his name into the ring, since the day that he stepped forward and said, "I will serve you," what have they thrown at him? The machine, the corrupt establishment, all the forces, all the parasitic forces that have been stealing this country's wealth and jobs. What did they do? One hoax, one persecution, one witch hunt, one slander, one vile defamation after another, lawfare after lawfare, one corrupt attack after another, and not one, but 2 assassination attempts that this man has endured. And I ask you, did he ever waver? Did he ever falter? Did he ever stand down? Or did he raise his fists into the air and shout, "Fight, fight, fight"? What I am asking you, people of Detroit and Michigan, is what are we fighting for? What is Donald Trump fighting for on your behalf? Your right to live in a city that is safe and clean and prosperous. The right to be able to take your kids to a park and not have to worry about crime or drugs or needles or graffiti. The right to send your kids to a school where they teach them that America is a great and wonderful country, not to indoctrinate them with hate and lies and leftist nonsense. To live in a country where our government agencies, including FEMA, prioritize American citizens and not illegal aliens. Where when you have citizens who are displaced by hurricanes, they're the ones who should get free housing, not illegal migrants. Is it too much to ask? Is it too much to dream that your own country, your own government, your own society, your own civilization could care more about you and your family and your children than illegal aliens who have absolutely no right to even be on our soil? And then there's the jobs. Detroit once was the city that powered the entire world. Every car worth driving in the entire world was manufactured here. Not in Mexico, not in China, not in Japan. It was manufactured here. The best cars in the world are made in Detroit, but we need to make 5 times as many cars, 10 times as many cars, 20 times as many cars. And Donald Trump has a plan to do it. Donald Trump has a plan to make Detroit and to make Michigan the economic center of the world. And he is going to go country by country, and he is going to go to the world leaders and say America's not going to be bullied, America's not going to be intimidated, America's not going to be pressured, America is not going to lose its jobs or its wealth to foreign lands and foreign nations and foreign leaders and foreign companies. That wealth is going to stay right here in the city of Detroit and is going to belong to you and your families. So all I am asking, all we are asking, is for every person in this room to dedicate themselves to the simple but essential task of delivering the votes we need to win the state of Michigan. You need to get your friends, family, co-workers, churchgoers, every person you know, people that you barely know, everyone you come into contact with, email, write, text, everything you can think of, and deliver a tsunami, an actual tsunami of votes for Donald Trump, too big to rig, because if Michigan goes for Trump, then America goes for Trump, and your hero, your champion, is back in the White House, and we will be able to say that Donald J. Trump is the 47th President of the United States, and America is back. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Detroit, and God bless America. Hey, North Carolina, can you feel the momentum? In just 2 weeks from now, this nightmare ends, this misery is over. 4 years of betrayal, 4 years of failure, 4 years of disappointment, 4 years of inflation, 4 years of illegal immigration, 4 years of losing your country stops, and America is back, and America is strong and free and proud again. And one of the first things that Donald Trump will do when he gets back into the White House is he's going to tell FEMA, your job is to take care of Americans, not illegal aliens. And then Donald Trump is going to tell DHS, you're going to seal the damn border shut, you're going to send the illegal aliens home, and America will be safe again. Now, my good friend Peter talked to you about trade, about outsourcing, about manufacturing. The jobs of this state were ripped out and stolen from you by politicians, by globalists like Kamala Harris year after year after year after year. When Donald Trump comes back into the White House, all those factories are coming out of China, they're coming out of Vietnam, they're coming out of Thailand, they're coming out of Mexico, and they're coming right back here to America and right back to North Carolina. As I look around this room, what I see are thousands and thousands and thousands of faces of loyal American citizens who love this country, who love this Constitution, who love the history and heritage of America, and all you've ever asked for in return is a government that is loyal to you. For 8 long years, Donald Trump has been fighting for us in the arena. What he has endured, what he has been through on this journey, they came after him, they came after his family, they came after his children, they came after his businesses, they came after his freedom, and they came after his life, and he's still standing strong, he is still standing tall. And with your help, North Carolina, Donald J. Trump is going to save the United States of America. He's going to seal the border. He's going to bring back our jobs. He's going to end inflation. And America will be greater than ever before. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless North Carolina. Hello, New York. Hello, Madison Square Garden. And hello to the United States of America, people watching in all 50 states. We are here tonight with a message for you. In 9 days, your rescue is coming. In 9 days, your salvation is at hand. In 9 days, Donald J. Trump is going to go back to the White House. We stand here today at a crossroads in the history of this nation, in the history of our civilization. This is a choice between betrayal and renewal, between self-destruction and salvation, between the failure of America or the triumph of America. I want you to think for a minute about the decades of abuse that has been heaped upon the good people of this nation. Their jobs looted and stolen from them and shipped to Mexico, Asia, and foreign countries. The lives of their loved ones ripped away from them by illegal aliens, criminal gangs, and thugs who don't belong in this country. A political system that punishes hard-working citizens, oppresses them at every turn, takes away their right to free speech, the right to political expression, the right to fundamental safety in their own country. One man dared to step forward 9 years ago and say, enough, no more, America gets its future back. And what happened next? What happened after he stepped down that escalator 9 years ago? The system he was fighting, tried to do everything in its power to stop him, to take away your voice, to take away your vote, to take away your right to have your own country. They lied, they defamed, they smeared, one witch hunt after another, one hoax after another, one betrayal after another, lie after lie, slander after slander, libel after libel, lawsuit after lawsuit. They tried to jail him, they tried to bankrupt him, they tried to imprison him, and they even tried to take his life with not one, but 2 assassination attempts. And let me ask you, when his life was on the line, did he falter? Did he waver? Did he yield? Did he surrender? Did he hesitate? Did he back down? Did he give one single solitary inch? Or did he stand up, strong and proud and resilient, the warrior that he is, and raise his fist into the air and shout on behalf of all of you, fight, fight, fight? And what was he fighting for? He was fighting for your children, for your wives, your husbands, everyone that you love and know in the world. The right to live in a country where criminal gangs cannot just cross our border and rape and murder with impunity. Think about how corrupt and hateful and evil a system is that allows gangs to come into this country and rape and murder little girls. I'm not just saying that. You've read the stories. It happens every day. You read one of these heartbreaking headlines. Who's going to stand up for our daughters? Who's going to stand up for the girls of America, the women of America, the families of America? Who's going to stand up and say, the cartels are gone, the criminal migrants are gone, the gangs are gone, America is for Americans and Americans only? One man, and that man, ladies and gentlemen, that man took a bullet for you, he took a bullet for democracy, and all we are asking in return All we are asking in return is for 9 days, for 9 short, precious days. You have to vote, vote, vote. Vote for freedom, vote for liberty, vote for sovereignty, vote for your children, vote for your families, vote for the right of free speech, the right to the Second Amendment, vote for the right to have a secure sovereign border and for the right to have a government that puts American citizens ahead of illegal aliens. With your votes, you can smash this broken establishment. With your votes, you can end the corruption and graft. And with your votes, you can deliver the future to your children that they so dearly deserve. So I'll end with this thought. Each and every one of you has been loyal to your country. You have loved your country. You followed the rules. You paid your taxes. You did everything right. And the system just keeps beating you down, beating you down, and beating you down. And I say to you, are you going to let that system win? Are you going to surrender? Or are you going to follow the example of President Donald J. Trump and fight, fight, fight to the finish and save this nation, save this country, save this civilization, and save this glorious republic? Thank you, New York. God bless you. God bless New York, and God bless America. In just 10 days, the state of Michigan can send Donald J. Trump back to the White House as our 47th president. If we win Michigan, we win the White House. That's it. It's in your hands. You have the power. You have the control. You are in charge of your destiny. All you have to do is get out and vote, vote, vote. Who here is planning to vote early? Who here has already voted? If everyone in this room commits to voting early, it's that much less work to do on Election Day to get Donald J. Trump over the finish line. Get those ballots in the bank, run up that score, and show the entire world that Michigan backs Donald Trump. I want you to picture what the world will look like. January 20th of next year, if Michigan votes for Donald Trump. On January 20th of next year, the crooked politicians are out of power and the American people are back in power. The big donors, the special interests, and everybody who's been ripping you off loses their control and you're in charge again. The border is sealed shut. The illegal aliens are sent home. Our factories are brought back to our shores. The violent criminals are put behind bars. And our children are taught to love American history and American values. Once again, we will be a proud nation under Donald Trump. Now, something else very exciting, very beautiful is happening here in the state of Michigan. Something really extraordinary. Donald Trump is getting record-breaking, historic support from Michigan's Arab and Muslim community. He's going to set all-time records. And if the Muslim and Arab community gets out the vote, then that's one more reason that Donald Trump is going to win Michigan. Because guess what? Arab voters in Michigan, they want a strong leader. They want a leader they can respect. They want a man who is going to protect and defend their families and this country. And as you all know, that man is and has always been Donald J. Trump. For 8 years, they came after this man. For 8 long years, they came after this man. One hoax, one lie, one smear, one defamation, one persecution, one witch hunt, one lawsuit after another. They tried to take his business. They tried to take his freedom. And they even tried to take his life with not one, but 2 assassination attempts. And did Donald Trump, did he waver? Did he falter? Did he back down? Did he give an inch? Did he show any fear? Or did he stand up, raise his fist into the air, and shout, "Fight, fight, fight"? And now, Michigan, that's what we're asking you to do. Fight, fight, fight to the finish line. Get those votes, get those ballots, get your neighbors, organize, do the work. Deliver this state for Donald Trump. Deliver freedom for your children. Deliver a future we can be proud of. You can do it, Michigan. We will win. We will take back the White House. God bless you. God bless your families, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you. Are we ready, Lancaster? Just 2 days from now, and this nightmare that we've been living through for 4 years ends. In 2 days, you can end the nightmare of inflation, the nightmare of illegal immigration, the nightmare of humiliation at home, embarrassment abroad, and the degradation of this country. In just 2 days, you can defeat Kamala Harris, you can defeat the radical left, you can defeat the Marxists, the communists, the globalists, the crooked politicians, and you can send your hero and champion back to the White House. It all comes down to Pennsylvania. The Patriots here today. You can deliver this state to Donald J. Trump, and you can send Donald J. Trump back to the White House. If everyone here gets 5 people, 6 people, 7, 8, 9, 10 people to the polls on Tuesday, this race is won, this election is over, and the banners will read, "We have re-elected Donald J. Trump back to the White House." So I need you all. I need you. I am asking you to dig deep, to work hard. 48 more hours after 9 years, it all comes down to this. You're right at the finish line in this marathon. And I want you to think, I want you to really think, as we have these 2 days left, what President Trump has endured for all of you, for all of us, for this nation for 9 years, since he came down that escalator. I want you to think about the hoaxes, the media lies, distortions, defamations, lawfare, persecutions, witch hunts, one persecution, one hoax, one abuse, one lie after another. Every single force that has been wrecking and raiding and pillaging this country has been coming after him. And why? Why have they done it? Because he's standing up for all of us every single damn day. And I ask you, when they came at him, when they tried to take away his freedom, when they tried to take away his business, and yes, when they tried to take away his life, did he back down? Did he give an inch? Did he yield? Did he surrender? Or did he stand up proud and tall and raise his fist into the air and shout, "Fight, fight, fight"? Pennsylvania, I need you to fight. We need you to fight for 2 more days to end these injustices. As you're heading to the polls, as you're bringing your friends to the polls, as you're bringing your coworkers to the polls, your family to the polls, I want you to think about all the victims who have suffered under this heartless administration and under the cruel and wicked and sinister policies of Kamala Harris. How many of you have turned on the news or searched online day after day and read about another American raped and murdered by an illegal alien that Kamala Harris brought into our country? What kind of person does this to her own countrymen? What kind of person finds criminal gang members and sets them free to attack our people? Who would do such a thing? I want you to think of these victims. I want you to think of the mothers, the fathers who will never see their kids again, and say, for the love of God, we're going to elect Donald Trump. We're going to seal that border. We're going to send the illegals home. And we're going to keep America safe for American citizens. You don't have to live like this. We don't have to live like this. We can be a free country again. We can be a sovereign country again. We can be a country again that puts American citizens before migrant gangs and illegal aliens. We don't need foreign countries' criminals. We don't need foreign countries' killers. We don't need foreign countries' gangs. You know what we need? We need safe parks, safe schools, safe communities where our children can learn and thrive, and they'll never have to compete with illegal aliens who don't even belong in our country. 4 generations of my family comes from this state. My great-great-grandfather lived here. My great-grandfather lived here. My grandfather lived here. My mom was born here. I love this state with every single fiber of my being. And I want Pennsylvania to be freer and stronger than it's ever been before. But you know, the only way this happens is if we send Kamala Harris back to San Francisco with her communist friends and send Donald J. Trump back to the White House. 2 days. That's all we have left. After all the fighting, after all the battles, everything we've experienced together on this journey, everything that we've been through, and everything that Donald J. Trump has been through, that's all that's left. Just 2 days. Just 2 days. Are we up to the challenge, Pennsylvania? Are we going to get this done, Pennsylvania? Are we going to kick out the corrupt globalist politicians? And are we going to elect a man who puts you first, your families first, your children first, this country first, this flag first, every single day? Kamala Harris doesn't give a damn about you. She doesn't care about you. She doesn't care about your children. She doesn't care about your families. She doesn't care about anybody but herself and her donors. There's one man who cares about you and your family, who's willing to take every single arrow and, yes, every bullet they send his way. And that man, that champion, that leader, that warrior, who's going to be standing in front of you in just a few minutes, he's counting on you, and his name is Donald J. Trump. And if you do the work for just 2 more days, then my friends, my fellow patriots, come January, you are going to watch Donald J. Trump standing before the assembled nation and the assembled world, put his hand on that Bible, take the oath of office, and save this country. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless Pennsylvania.